action on extractive sector and how corruption can turn the tide. It's now time for the midday news, and in this edition, as prices of some food items increase, Greek experts urge government to halt the food exports to neighboring countries.
If for any reason someone needs to export food out of the country, that must come with approval from the ministry, and the reasons must be given.
We'll take you to the market to get first-hand information on the price hikes and how you should prepare your pocket to meet the market needs, and also hear from the Greek ministry. British government lays out comprehensive plan to crack down on Ghanaians who steal public money and attempt to hide it in the UK as part of its grand plan to help deal with corruption in Ghana.
The UK does not want to be a destination for corrupt money, and so it's important for people in Ghana, people across the world, to know that if they try to hide their ill-gotten gains in the UK's crime agencies will be looking for them.
And this afternoon, blockbuster action in Nigeria's Kogi state as men armed to the teeth storm prison and free 240 prisoners, killing 2 officers in the process in what is the second jailbreak in Nigeria in only 2021 alone.
Shattered windows and ceilings are some of the worrisome images left after the attack by gunmen at the Kaba Correctional Center.
I'll take you live to Nigeria in sports.
Dr. Andy Abe, who is part of the 3-member committee tasked to appoint a new Black Stars coach, has been talking about the qualities of the next man who will be in charge of the Black Stars.
We have that and more in this edition of the Midday News. The news is also live on a dozen affiliates across the country, including Amenuveve FM in Aplao, Bewa Radio in Waliwali, Radio Sungmale in Wa. I am Emefa Apau. Thanks for choosing us. We're your home of independent, fearless and credible journalism. In our very first story for this afternoon, stop exporting food. That's one of the recommendations proffered by experts in the agric sector, as many complain about the hikes in foodstuff. The General Agric Workers Union, the Peasant Farmers Association and the Chamber of Agric have all expressed worry about the situation, saying if government does not assist with funding, stop exportation of food and store more, the situation will get worse, especially in the first quarter of next year, 2022. Let's hear from the CEO of the Chamber of Agric, Anthony Morrison.
For early part of next year, we're going to have challenges with our food systems. So we will need to import quite more. What government needs to do is to make sure that when this year's produce are ready, we provide a mop-up strategy so that we can store enough food across the country.
Well, the Peasant Farmers Association also says it hinted government about the possibility of price hikes and a possible food shortage. It also asked government to halt the exportation of food to neighboring countries, but the National Food Buffer Company kicked against it. Head of Advocacy, Charles Nyaba, says the buyers will continue to bear the brunt unless government intervenes.
Influx of people from Nigeria, Burkina and Midday who also came to buy the small quantities that we have. But my concern last year was that while this was happening, and then we drew government attention to actually look at the issues, the National Food Buffer came out clearly to let all of us understand that there was no cause for alarm and that they have enough stock that will be released during the rain season to cater for the shortage. When I knew, I couldn't actually locate any of the buffer stock that they were talking about. So when we want to tell them, they say, oh, they know what they are talking about. So I was surprised that things were getting wet, poultry farmers were complaining. Yet those buffer stocks were not actually released into the market.
Well, the affairs have been confirmed by some traders at the Malamata market. Israel Lai has been interacting with some of them.
Abigail is coming to buy palm nut, which means that there's some abenkwang on the way.
Yeah, I think I see.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, now it's so. Anna, baby, I'm yan. Hey,
so to this is come
baby, I'm yan. From me.
Okay, so it's 8 CDs now, but how much was it being sold previously?
It was 5 CDs.
How long ago?
Oh, a month ago.
Well, so you hear there's some traders interacting with Israel Lai at the Malamata market. Let's bring in the Deputy Agric Minister, Mr. Yao Frimpong. We're grateful for your time here on the Midday News. So I'm sure this situation in terms of price hikes and foodstuff has been brought to the ministry's attention. Is there a particular action that is being taken to avert the situation?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Frimpong.
Yes.
I bet you can hear me now. I'm asking whether the attention of the ministry has officially been drawn to the situation in terms of price hikes of foodstuff on the market, and is there a particular action that has been taken?
Well, thank you very much. And let me also say a big thank you to the earlier speakers who spoke on this same subject. We appreciate everything they are doing. I know they have a very good heart for the agri sector, and because food security is national security, so it is everybody's responsibility to ensure that we have food in the system, the availability of it, and then the pricing too should be affordable. That is all what everybody is striving for. The situation has arisen as a result of several factors. And these factors include the global economic situation in the midst of the COVID-19 pandemic that affected even the production of fertilizers and the supply of these fertilizers, transportation of these fertilizers to our country. And then secondly, the government also, because of revenue shortfalls, had challenges with payment to fertilizer suppliers. And this actually affected agricultural production in this country. But notwithstanding, the little that we had, we lowered our guard a little bit. We felt that we had enough, so our neighboring countries kept transporting our food produce across the borders. Before we could say jack, we were running into shortages. And because of the droughts that occurred in the second half of last year, the production levels were not as high as the previous years. So as we did not protect the little that we had, and we on our blind side, we allowed these things to go until we got to know that, no, this thing must stop. That the minister put a stop to all these things. We were doing very well until that time. But we've learned a lot of lessons from it, and just as the earlier speakers were talking about, we are no longer going to lower our gas this time. The harvest that we are going to have this year, both the minor season and then the major season in the southern sector. You know, the northern sector, they have only one planting season. The planting season has been good in the northern sector because the rains have been good. Just that inputs did not go as we all expected because of the factors that I've listed above earlier. So, whatever we are going to get, we will guard them jealously. And finally, for us, the government, the Minister of Agriculture has taken delivery of, I wouldn't say delivery, we've been giving about 81 to 85. I'm not getting the figure very right, but I know about 81 of the warehouses are ready.
Okay. So what we are doing in the interim is to ensure that our produce are not being exported to neighboring countries. That has started,
that is
you
number
say?
one.
Okay.
And then at the moment, we are expecting the harvest from our crops this year. Around this time, some farmers are beginning to harvest, and that is especially in the middle belt where we have two seasons. Around this time, farmers are harvesting. They are at the same time planting for the minor season, and the minor season, the rains have been good. So we know that the minor season we are going to get better harvest in the minor season even than the main season.
And the assurance from government to all of us is that we can avert a food shortage in this country.
We are surely going to avert this food shortage because the buffer stock is now getting ready, well positioned to be able to mop up every food that we produce in this country.
Okay, we are grateful. We'll leave it here for now. Thank you so much for your time. Unfortunately, we're out of time. That's the Deputy Agric Minister, Mr. Yao Frimpong. Subsequently, we'll delve deeper into this issue. Now, the UK High Commissioner to Ghana, Harriet Thompson, says though the ongoing digitization drive by the government of Ghana is commendable in its attempts to curb low-level corruption, it is equally important that Ghanaians are convinced that no one is immune to prosecution at the high level. In her first interview since she arrived in Ghana in June this year, High Commissioner Thompson said the fight against corruption is closely linked to many of the activities the UK is involved in the country, citing digitization and how by moving more government services online, opportunities for low-level corruption will be reduced.
Means of tackling corruption is a bit of a golden thread running through a lot of our activity here in Ghana. Areas that I would draw out would be the government's digitisation agenda here in reducing the human-to-human contact and moving more government services online. They're reducing the opportunities for corruption at low levels in the system. At the higher levels, it's so important for people to see that nobody is immune to prosecution. If people steal money, they will be prosecuted for stealing money. So the work that we're doing around illicit financial flows and to counter money laundering is really important in that regard. The UK does not want to be a destination for corrupt money. And so it's important for people in Ghana, people across the world, to know that if they try to hide their ill-gotten gains in the UK's crime agencies will be looking for them.
So essentially the systems are there to detect people who would want to launder such monies, illicit monies, and the system will deal with them.
Yeah, that's right, absolutely.
Do you intend to call out people who engage, maybe seen to be engaged in corruption, political leaders and others during your tenure?
Yeah, where the evidence is clear, then people need to know what's happening. I would put a note of caution on.
That's the UK High Commissioner to Ghana, Harriet Thompson, there interacting with Israel Lai. Now, it was like a Hollywood movie when unidentified by fully armed men attacked a prison facility in Nigeria's Kogi state and aided the escape of at least 240 prisoners. Now, this becomes the second mass jailbreak in Nigeria after a first in April this year where more than 1,800 inmates broke out and escaped. Authorities in Nigeria confirmed that many of the inmates in this prison were suspected Boko Haram militant, although they have not confirmed yet if it is the militant group that is behind this recent attack. Kayode Ladende is head of news radio now in Nigeria, joins us on the phone with details. We are grateful for your time, sir. So please give us a brief background to this particular development in Nigeria.
Yeah, good afternoon, Amofa. Looking at the situation, I think it's quite worrisome. For the fact that the attention has been largely in the northwest and that of the northeast. The northeast is where terrorism is predominant, and in the northwest is the more banditry. But to have this kind of attack in north central is quite worrisome. But it is you can't quickly dot the I's and cross the T's to look at what could have caused that. But the fact that the profiling of the prisoners that were released shows that many of them were terrorists, many of them were terrorists, and that of the bandits. So it could be more of the action may have been carried out by.
And we are told that at least 240 prisoners have been freed in the process. Have there been any arrests just yet? Yes,
3 persons who escaped were rearrested early this morning, and that's for now what has been said. And the federal government has also reached out to the Interpol to be at alert to ensure that anyone that is fleeing the shores of this country are also stopped in their tracks. So basically, it has not been more than 3 persons that have been rearrested, but all security agents have been put on alert to ensure that these people do not just mix up with the regular civilians.
And considering that this is the second jailbreak in this year alone, how is the Nigerian public receiving this?
I think the Nigerian public is really alarmed. They are worried because we've been having spate of insecurity across different parts of the country, like I mentioned, and the northeast and the northwest. For this to happen in the north central, and may I also remind you that we also had a jailbreak during the popular NSAS protests, where a state in Nigeria, Edo State to be precise, where we also had jailbreak. So largely, a lot of people are alarmed. People are already looking at any strange face around them to ensure that they report to the relevant authorities so that they do not have a worse situation than what is out there in the news.
We are grateful. That's Kayode Ladende, is head of news for Radio Now in Nigeria. Meanwhile, Comptroller General of the Nigerian Correctional Service, Haleru Nababa, says they are investigating to bring justice and then also rearrest the inmates who broke out.
Let us make investigation, adequate investigation, then we'll communicate later. I have to thank the military authorities and as well as commissionerate, the Nigerian Army, as well as the families of the deceased.
Well, we reached out to the Ghana Immigration Service, who told us this has come to their notice, but they did not offer any further comments on this. Subsequently, we'll look at it. This is the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. We'll take a quick break. We'll be looking at prices of some food items as they increase. We'll be hearing from the Deputy Agric Minister, who says that government is putting all measures in place to avert a food shortage in the coming days. When we return from the break, the search for a new Black Stars coach is on, plus showbiz and more. Please stay with us.
Hello, class. Mental. What is 2 and 3?
23.
2 and 4.
24.
2 and 5.
Sonata.
It's been 25 amazing years with you. And to celebrate this huge milestone, we're giving away 25 brand new sleek Hyundai Sonata vehicles and lots of exciting prizes in the MTN at 25 promo. Just keep using your MTN number and talk, text, browse, and Momo more to gain points. And you could win one of 25 brand new sleek Hyundai Sonata vehicles and lots of cash prizes each month in the MTN at 25 promo. Dial *156# today and begin your journey to win big, only on MTN, everywhere you go.
I have a super story that everyday people will love.
Are you making ripples?
I'm talking about a brighter, safer future for workers, for businesses, for West Africa.
What's that?
A free online conference organized by the Institution of Occupational Safety and Health.
What's it about?
How health and safety at work can help us, our businesses, and our economy.
That sounds like a domino effect. What are the topics?
Competitive and sustainable advantage from health and safety in all industries and businesses. Changes in occupational safety and health legislation. Women as leaders in the profession.
What's the lineup?
There are speakers from leading West African and international institutions, as well as from business and the health and care sectors.
Oh, I'd like to find out more. When does the rooster crow at dawn?
16th and 17th September.
How do I sign up?
Check out www.iosh.com/WAC.
I'm on the edge of paradise.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us here on the Midday News. It's time for sports. Nathaniel Atto is here with us. We're waking up to the sacking of CK Akuno. Who is next? Who's replacing him?
Well, and that's why we're having a conversation about the committee that has been tasked to provide us with a Black Stars coach by Thursday. Now, the committee is made up of FA Vice President Dr. Mark Addo, Upper East Regional FA Chairman Alhaji Salifu Zida, and Dr. Randy Abbey. Of course, this comes following the sacking of CK Akuno. Now, Dr. Randy Abbey, who is a member of this three-man committee, has been talking about the qualities expected of the next Black Stars coach.
A coach's role, really, one is about having a strategy for a game, calling up players, deploying players according to a strategy for the game, decision-making in the course of the game, key. Let's say you're going to play Zimbabwe, home and away. You obviously will study your opponents, and that will inform how you want to approach the game. Then you call up players. The players you call up must be informed by how you want to approach the game. The players you deploy, that's your actual selection, must inform that. And then in the course of the game, many things can happen. Because a lot of decisions you make throughout the game are assumptions. In the course of the game, some of your assumptions might not work out. And that is where the tactical ingenuity of coaches come to play. You understand me? So your strategy, the color, the deployment, decision making in the course of the game, that's what makes one make a coach.
Randy Abe is part of a 3-member committee tasked to get the next Black Stars coach.
Any names comes up?
Well, it's difficult to tell at this time,
Okay.
but on social media you could
Foreign
see.
or local?
Well, it's been open, so it's not necessarily foreign or local. It could be any.
Okay. Well, thank you very much, Nathaniel Lato. Now, 2020 NDC presidential candidate John Mahama has wrapped up his tour of the Ashanti region to thank them for their votes during the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. Mr. Mahama and the NDC lost the polls to the NPP and Nana Akufo-Addo, but the NDC says the polls were rigged and have now vowed to be more vigilant at the polling stations in the next elections. Prince Apia has more.
The NDC 2020 presidential candidate embarked on a thank you tour to the Ashanti region. The second day of the tour saw identifiable groups from across the Ashanti region meeting leadership of the NDC. Former President John Mahama, addressing the group, said the development of the Ashanti region is accelerated only when the NDC is in power.
NDC abreso ena omuhu impuntu.
He is confident the people of Ashanti would vote for the NDC in the 2024 elections.
President Mahama ampa ubu ejuma wa Ashanti mantem pa. Enso minima de kronti. Akoye te say yese ye de ha na ewo enti ehwa na ebeto ya ba afa. Enso ewo se yesesan ya adwen. Enra mene business for be ACI. Omu nyina age to mu say abra NDC wa ban mu Professor Mills ene ma breso. Omo ejuma koso yie.
That's former President John Dramani Mahama ending Prince Apia's report there as he ended his thank you tour of the Ashanti region. It's time for showbiz, and Mapitso Sabidi is here. What a beautiful dress.
Oh, thank you. You guys should go to our Facebook page so you can see my beautiful dress. Yes. I'm joking, but it was a heated engagement on Hits FM yesterday on You Say Waiting between Three Music's Sadiq Abdullahi Abu and musician Shatawale. Let's listen.
Shata. When you were speaking, I kept quiet. So now, just stop lying. Stop lying. Shut up there and stop speaking like you're speaking to yourself. You've been to my house before. You know, with the shout go do anything. You know the better. So come on for there. You need to shout. You need to get energy to shout for yourself. You know the shout for yourself. You know go feel shout. You know that. You know in your heart say, Charlie, we are the different person. We are not any of those industry people. You know that. Don't you be talking like that on radio and see me like I'm a small boy. If I see you slap, I will slap you. It is slap. You know what you don't do like you did this thing. You know me. We will have street boys, so that is see.
Please. Hey, please put Chatawale off.
So what's all this about?
Okay, so it started when Shatawale posted on his Twitter page that it doesn't make sense that you shoot music videos like industry players. Like, stop shooting expensive music videos like Jay-Z. And then Sadiq came in, I was on Hits FM on the morning show, and then he advised Shatawale. Shatawale didn't take this very kindly, and so this is how it has escalated. But you can go to Hits 103.9 FM on the Facebook page and check out the full video.
Mapitso, thank you very much for showbiz, and that's how we wrap up today's edition of the Midday News here on Joy 99.7 FM. Of course, on myjoyonline.com on the entertainment page, you can get more. Also, top stories on myjoyonline.com. Judge aired in ruling on Rastafarian students at Chimoto School AG Appeals Court. And then also, Reverend Owusu Bempa hospitalized after court denies him and 3 others bail. Also on My Joy Online, a GFA Exco sets up committee to search for new Black Stars coach in 72 hours. That and more on myjoyonline.com. I am Emefa Apau. On behalf of the entire team, we say many thanks for your company. We have Living Word with Pastor Menso Chabil. Enjoy.
If home is where the heart is, then let's go home, shall we? Let's go where the entertainment is. where the passion is.